Aí, gente, o setentão na estrada chegou para fazer um passeio de gôndola. Aí, vamos ver como caminhar na gôndola aí, ou remar na gôndola, fazer qualquer coisa. É. Olha que interessante esse prédio. Tá vendo? Todos os prédios aqui da cidade, por problemas de terremoto, eles fazem toda a estrutura é de madeira. Né? Não utiliza muito concreto, é muito pouco. Chegamos aí, vamos que vamos. Filhinha já está lá na fila, vamos fazer o passeio. Aí, o pessoal está indo e estamos prontos para a gôndola aí.
Are you traveling to Christchurch? Away from?
Por que ele vive na Ásia?
Just hang around outside, what do you say? You fucking dancing on boats.
Aí as roupas, né, que foram já utilizadas, nas épocas diferentes, né?
Oh, with it or teen? No,
There too much hugging and cuddles. Too much.
somebody's.
Tem uns pedalinhos também, dá para fazer. Fazer o passeio, né, de pedalinho. Em vez da gôndola, pode ir de pedalinho também. Gôndola, caiaque.
Eles têm também, tipo, você pode fazer 1 hora de bicicleta e 1 hora de caiaque.
Ah, tá. Vários passeios aí. Ali também tem um café, né? E olha aí. E as árvores já estão perdendo aí as folhas verdes. É isso aí. Já estão ficando amareladas, daqui a pouco vão cair e entra a neve. E é isso aí. Vamos lá. E vamos aguardar nosso horário aí de fazer o passeio na gôndola e bora viver. Fui.
Hunter
Aí,
seems
gente,
like a bad,
vamos
like
sair
a
aí
Scary.
de gôndola.
Yeah, feel free to use the blankets, they are there for everybody to use. Make sure everybody stays as warm as we can on our rides. It's not too bad once you're up in the park, you get away from the breeze. Okay everybody, welcome to the Avon River everybody. My name is Chris, and I say at the beginning of each of my tours that I'm quite a loud guy that does love to talk, okay? So if you can't hear me on the tour, I might have fallen off somewhere, okay? But if you have any questions or I'm talking too quickly, please do let me know, okay? The first site on our tour is our old boat sheds. The Antigua boat sheds were built in 1882, which makes them 143 years old. They are a heritage building for New Zealand. They're also one of the oldest. The doors match up and the building is on a lean. It has been slowly sinking over the last 100 or so years, so as far as anybody can remember, it's been on a weird lean. It's nothing too new. Even during the earthquakes that hit Christchurch back in 2011, our building had a really good wobble, but it ended up back in its original position, so it didn't really take too much damage. From what I was told, a window cracked and they had to do some work on the landing, and that was about it. Yeah. So it actually fared to pretty well. Now the first thing that most people notice about the river itself, it can be remarkably clear. And on a very good day it can be almost like glass. The reason for that is the Avon River is spring fed, so all the water comes up through the ground. So there's mostly just snow. A little bit scary, you kind of go like that. Oh. Yeah, this is actually my 7th bridge because I can see on the camera there I really don't have that much space. It is worth it for the view once you come out.
You did so well.
It's not my first rodeo. Okay, so welcome to Hagley Park, everyone. Has anybody walked through the park and gardens before?
Yep.
Couple of nods? Yeah, cool. So we've got some ladies from Japan. Konnichiwa. And we've been in New Zealand now since 2015. If my accent does go a little bit odd during the tours,
Oh my god.
it's because I lived in Wales for most of my adult life. Okay, so it does really kind of explain a lot of it. Okay, so welcome to Hagley Park, everyone. Hagley Park is the largest urban park in New Zealand. It's over 400 acres of open space in the middle of Christchurch, and it's one of the reasons why Christchurch is nicknamed the Garden City. We're travelling between Hagley Park and the Botanical Gardens. So the hospital on our left-hand side here is the Greater Hagley Park side, whereas this house and the area on the right is all the Botanical Gardens. To give you an idea of how large these is, I can as we're heading up and down, okay?
I'm gonna take some for you, Christian.
The eels.
And trout.
Yeah, they tend to hide in darker places, eels, so underneath trees, shadows, places like that is where they tend to hide. We've got a whole bunch underneath our landings if you want to see them.
Maybe
We
I
can
should,
actually tease a few out.
when
Yeah.
my eel gets too big, I think.
Yeah, just release them in the wild.
Now we are going to head underneath our willow tree on the corner, which is one of our more favourite spots on the tour. The willow trees in Christchurch are all grown from the cuttings of the original two that were brought over by the French. So if you go over to Akaroa, a little French town just over on the Banks Peninsula, there's two of these trees, and they are the original saplings that they brought over from the Isle of St Helena, and they planted those trees when they arrived in New Zealand. The Isle of St Helena is famous for Napoleon Bonaparte's exile. He lived there for many years, and even his wife Josephine is buried underneath one of these willow trees in St Helena. This tree was grown from the cuttings, and this tree is 140 years old, which makes it almost the same age as our boat sheds.
Nossa,
So it kind of gives you an idea of how
uma
old those
árvore
boat
aí
sheds are.
de
when you look at this
400
tree,
anos.
isn't it? But this tree is also considered lucky because it's the favourite spot on boats for people to propose marriage. Underneath the tree here, yeah.
Does it happen often?
It does actually. We get quite a few marriage
Really?
proposals on our boats, on our tours, yeah. A lot of the time we know about it beforehand
Go on,
because
Mike,
they'll
do it.
contact us. Yeah, there'll be a couple on the right hand side here, for example. Get the other bit of it all the way there. Hey everyone, having a good time?
Oh, they get a big
Shane behaving himself? Not Friday yet, okay. Yeah, me and Shane are the two biggest troublemakers, so it's better if we're separated. Yeah, so mallard ducks are the reason for most countries' duck hunting. Duck hunting seasons are often based on the numbers of the mallards because they can multiply incredibly quickly. Yeah, they're found just about everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I do love this time of the year. The colours on the trees are just really pretty when the sun's out. Oh yeah. Now these bigger birds are coming up on the left-hand side here. These are Canada geese. They were introduced to New Zealand around about 100 years ago as a game bird to be hunted in New Zealand from the United States. But it wasn't until we got these birds here that we realised that the Americans were trying to get rid of them. They're actually a nuisance. They have become a nuisance in New Zealand, as you can tell. Especially at this time of the year, because Canada geese will gather to do a migration, but they don't go anywhere. They end up just hanging around. But they will bully all the other birds, they'll rip up all the plants and poop on everything, which makes a hell of a mess. All this bank here has just been ripped apart by the goose pretty much. And
Look at that.
they do chase people through the park as well. So if you're jogging through the park in the winter, you might run a bit faster because the goose will chase you. And you've got 30 of these things chasing you. It's actually pretty scary. Our kids are usually terrified of them because they are quite scary birds. But the Canada goose are usually the biggest birds we find on this river. We have black swan, but they don't tend to hang around when there's lots of boat traffic. They tend to be in more quieter spots. Now a lot of our trees and plants in the park here have been donated from all around the world. So Hagley Park is a collection. But we have got some incredibly special trees in the park. That's our giant sequoia redwood. Now giant sequoias are actually the largest trees in the world. The largest one is found in the USA. They call it General Sherman. Okay? General Sherman is 87 meters tall, which is 5 times taller than our tree.
Sequoia
But
pine.
wide enough to block up the river if it was planted here in the river. Okay? They think General Sherman is around about 3,000 years old, but he's the largest living tree by mass in the world. You can find it on Google easy enough, actually. Our tree was a gift from the governor of California, Robert Waterman, about 135 years ago. So our tree is technically a sapling. It is on planet Earth. So yeah, you'll be able to see it from anywhere, but we're not going to see it for an incredibly long time. Yeah.
This tree was.
Yeah.
And then
It's the biggest baby in our park. Yeah. Now the other tree I can show you guys is actually Christchurch's best kept secret up until last year. So a lot of locals don't know about this one. It is the tree that's inside this hedge on the right. So on the right here we've got this low hedge. There's a green sign that they've installed on the hedge. But inside this hedge there's this very, very large oak tree with a green tag on the side of it. It's kind of this one in the background here. So even how those ones turned up. Some of the trees died before they arrived at the destinations. They weren't able to be planted. And some of the trees weren't able to grow because the climate was wrong. So over time, the Royal Albert Edward oaks have disappeared. Up until last year, there was 7 of those trees left in the world, and 3 of them died last year. So the 4 remaining trees were given world protected status for historical significance. Now things that have world protected status are the incredibly rare things. Like, I'll do that in a heartbeat, that'd be very easy. And they go to the other 3 as well. I can't tell you exactly where the other 3 are because they tried to hide the trees to stop people from destroying them. The only thing we managed to find out was which country got them. So one is found in Scotland, so it didn't leave the UK. One is found in South Africa. The other one's found in Australia, and the 4th one is there inside that hedge. So the Royal Albert Edward oaks are officially one of the rarest trees in the world. Kids, don't climb up those trees. It will cause an international incident. It would be like somebody climbing up the side of the pyramids of Giza. They would be incredibly upset if they caught you. I got told if you got caught inside that hedge without permission, they can give you an on-the-spot fine of $1,000. Yeah, I don't have $1,000 in my back pocket to test that theory, but there you go. But yeah, that sign was only installed in October because once it got well-protected status, we could start telling people about it. Up until then, even the locals didn't even know it was just another tree in a big, massive park full of trees. So yeah. Now that tree is missing a few branches. It was damaged in a massive storm that hit Christchurch back in the 1920s. I can't remember the exact year, but the tree was damaged. They cut those branches away, and then bark off the side of the tree. So it was a very big storm. So those 2 trees are actually linked by the same storm as well. So that's our Royal Albert Edward oak, officially one of the rarest trees in the world. Good story, that one, though, isn't it? Hunting a duck or a goose, you could probably reach out and grab it and pop it in the boat. You wouldn't even know you were there till you grabbed them. So the only changes they did to a smaller boat like ours was to add seating to it. Just going to get a little bit wider. So I'm just going a bit wider to give you a bit more space. So no worries, I'll just give you a bit more space, but couldn't turn fast enough. The only thing they did to these boats was to add seating to them, the smaller ones. In the 1800s, punting was really popular for picnics, day tripping, and they were just cruising around like we're doing right now. Jane Austen, for example, was famous for writing about them in her books because it was quite a fashionable thing to do back then. So they were more of a leisure activity after that. Small fish get spit them in the tide, but they will come up and down the river looking for small fish and eel. Quite interesting look at those ones. You don't see those ones too often. Good spot, that one. I didn't even see that one. Yeah. Yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah. Yeah, so the kids would play, they would ask the kids to look up the boats. So they would just start pushing each other in the river, they'd wrestle, fight and splash, they would climb on the trees. Kids were just being kids and generally forget their heads tucked around, it just means they're sleeping.
É isso aí, gente.
So yeah, they'll sleep just about anywhere as long as they don't float down the river.
Nosso
So
fim de
sometimes when they're in the
passeio de
water, they kind
gôndola,
of tuck
né?
their feet into the mud at the bottom to try and anchor themselves and things like that.
Vamos ver que nos reserva para o período da tarde. Valeu. É isso aí.
And there we are, just coming back around to our lovely old sheds again. Well, thank you for coming, everybody. I hope you had a good time. You picked a really nice afternoon to be out, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's
beautiful.
really good.
Huh? That tree is so beautiful.
Oh, it's really, really good. So, if you want to know more about Christchurch, the tram does a really cool tour around the city centre. It takes around about an hour, a jump on, jump off ticket. And a day like today where it's not too windy, the gondola has some amazing views from the top of the hill. And that's my shameless plug part of the tour, I have to say it. But just while we're coming around towards the bushes again, just to remind everybody, please keep your hands safe as we come back in. Please just stay seated until both ends of the boat can be secured properly. We just don't want anybody to pull the splits and fall in. Head on. And if you are having trouble getting out of our boats, we find the easiest way is to spin around and get your knees onto the cushion first. Because that will definitely get your feet underneath you. It's much easier to get up from there.
Isso aí, gente.
But if
Embora
you would like a
viver
hand, don't be embarrassed. Let
Fui.
one of us know and we can definitely help you up.
Have you ever seen the
as
TV
guias.
show The Monster? They show like monster fish from around the world. Eventually, governments have been easy to big ones to kill them.
That's so cute.
É.
Oh, look at this one spider. How big it is.
Oh,
If you go like that, they come out.
That one tried to bite me. He got me with his nose. They literally, look.
In front of the market has a lot of them.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's a real
tem que pôr comida mais fácil.
Look, they back up as soon as you touch them because they want to eat.
É, as guias. Muito bonito. É isso aí.
Really?
E vamos curtir a vida. Bora viver. Fui. Falou, filhota. Ei, bora.
It's coming this side, baby. It's coming this side, and you can see this side here.
Pet
That's a
you.
pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all pretend they want a pat.
Come on, thank you. Come on. Come on. Come on.
See, they're like, yeah, you
He's
can
coming
pat me. Yeah.
Ela quer comida.
Aqui, ó.
He'll eat your finger.
Take it. That was. Take this one so I give you.
Oh, look at him. He wants to go now.
Oh, look at the heat on the.
What's going on? What's going on?
See?
See, they're a bit nervous about coming up on the step.
Tem bastante, hein?
They just
Olha,
use the little ones to lure you.
tem aqui. É, as guias.
Wanna come? Okay, come in. Cuidado aí, pai.
Olha aí.
I kind of want to see
Dad,
it.
this is the third way to go down. Stop, you know. Just wait. Harry. Come back here, right down. Very cross you don't have like that with the water on your own.
Do this.
Que bonitinho.
Harry,
Tá com frio.
Harry, hop on one of these at the top. Hop on these at the top. Harry, hop on one of these at the top.
Tá sentindo frio. Também hoje estamos com a temperatura agora 8 graus. Isso porque tá sol. E essa água aí tá com um termômetro acho que de -4 aí. Ele quer dormir. Olha lá. Isso aí. Vamos
Get on, go
descansar.
on to the top of yours and then